Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have a brand new deck tech for you, but before that, just a quick reminder to please click like and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and every single click counts. And today's deck tech is going to be focused on Gisa the Hellraiser. For 3 colorless and 2 black, she's a legendary creature, human warlock, 4/4 with ward 2, pay 2 life, skeletons and zombies you control get +1/+1 and have menace, and whenever you commit a crime, create 2 tapped 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature tokens. This ability triggers only once each turn. So the new Gisa is an absolute army in a can, and we're going to be building her as such. We have a lot of ways to target our opponents repeatedly, and obviously we have a lot of ways to do it at instant speed, because if we can target them during their turn as well as ours, we can bypass the once per turn restriction, and this should allow us to grow a massive zombie army very quickly. Also, the ward on Gisa is incredibly powerful, and I'm not really sure if she needed it. It's going to make it very unlikely that people want to target her, but then again, if they don't target her, you're just going to keep growing a massive board. To round off the deck, we're going to be playing a bunch of zombies, because this is, after all, a zombie tribal kind of deck. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started, and we're starting off with Ayara, Fist of Locthwain. This is a nice way for us to close off the game. Unfortunately, it doesn't really target, which would be great to commit a crime, but still, it's pretty nice as a drain effect. And not only that, but having a sack outlet for our tokens is always good. Blood Artist, on the other hand, does allow us to commit a crime whenever a creature dies, and it doesn't matter if it's ours or our opponents, so this should be triggering a lot during other people's turns, which works really well with our commander. Carrion Feeder is a powerful card in the deck as a zombie that can grow itself by sacrificing all of our tokens. Cemetery Reaper is a zombie lord that can commit a crime by exiling cards from graveyards, so it fits very nicely. Lord of the Undead is another zombie lord that's going to allow us to recur zombies from our graveyard. Champion of the Perish should get pretty big in this deck, seeing it's going to be dropping zombies left and right. Cryptcast isn't a zombie, but it does work very nicely by doubling all of our swamp's mana output. Crypt Breaker can turn excess cards in hand into more zombies, but the main ability we want it for is the one that allows us to tap our zombies to draw cards, because we're going to be making a lot of token zombies, so that's very nice. Digraph Colossus can be absolutely massive, and then it's just going to make more and more zombies as we cast zombie spells. Gempalm Polluter is really good in this deck. We're almost always just going to cycle it and never cast it, because when we cycle it, we get to make target player lose 1 life for each zombie we control. That can be great as a finisher once we have a huge board, but it can also be a great enabler early on in the game in order to commit a crime. Ghoulcaller Gisa can sacrifice one of our zombies to make a bunch more zombies. Graveborn Muse is a great way to draw a bunch of cards, so do make sure you have a high life total before you drop this. Gravecrawler is a part of a couple of combos in the deck, but also it's just a great creature that can keep recurring itself, particularly since our commander grows it. Gravespawn Sovereign is incredibly powerful in the mid to late game when a bunch of stuff has hit the graveyard and you can just drop this and steal some things. Not only that, but it can also commit a crime if we target our opponents. Grey Merchant of Asphodel is really powerful in any mono black deck, and in this one we have a bunch of ways to recur it since it's a zombie. Headless Rider is a zombie that's going to make more zombies whenever an untoken zombie dies. This just fits perfectly. Kevik the Punisher is a great way to get extra mileage out of our cards since we're going to be committing so many crimes. Lord of the Accursed is yet another zombie lord that's also going to give our zombies evasion. Midnight Reaper can draw us a bunch of cards and is also a zombie. Mikaeus the Unhallowed is amazing in this deck. It's going to give basically our entire deck Undying, which is incredibly powerful. Mirkwood Vats is a great way to finish the game since we are, after all, making a bunch of tokens. Morbid Opportunist should draw us quite a few cards in the deck since our creatures are going to be dying pretty frequently and we have a few sack outlets. Murderous Rider is great because it's a removal spell, which means it's committing a crime, and then we get to play it as a zombie after that. Both of those are really good. Priest of Forgotten Gods is a nice sack outlet that also commits a crime. Solemn Simulacrum is a nice way for us to ramp. Stronghold Assassin is a zombie that can commit a crime every turn. That's really powerful. Tetsimok Primal Death is amazing because we can commit crimes as frequently as we want as long as we have it in hand, although only during our turn, which is a little bit unfortunate, but then again, it's just a board wipe on a stick, which we can repeatedly use to commit crimes. Really powerful. Undead Augur can draw us a bunch of cards, though again, be careful with board wipes on this if you're low on life. Undead Warchief can be a bit of a pain to track, seeing as the buff is not symmetrical, but giving a discount to all your zombies is still pretty good. Vizier of the Scorpion gives us 2 zombie bodies when it comes in, and then it's going to give all of our tokens Death Touch. Withered Wretch is some nice graveyard removal that also happens to commit a crime and be a zombie. Zombie Master is great against board wipes and gives our creatures some evasion, particularly since we're running Urborg in this deck. And Zombie Trailblazer also works really nicely with Zombie Master and Urborg, and also gives us a way to commit a crime. Moving on to sorceries, Insatiable Avarice is a nice new card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which should be very good in this kind of deck. Mutilate is a nice board wipe that scales well with the swamps we control. For instance, we have Cling to Dusk. This is a great way to repeatedly commit crimes whilst drawing cards or gaining life. Imp's Mischief can commit a crime, and it's a great way to deal with opposing counterspells and just removal in general. Lethal Scheme and Pile On are both very good since we're making so many tokens. We can commit a crime for free with these cards. Rotten Reunion is yet another way to repeatedly commit crimes, and we also get zombies out of the deal. And moving on to artifacts, Altar of Dementia is a great way to repeatedly commit crimes on every single turn, thus meaning we're going to get more and more zombies from our commander. The same goes for Blasting Station. It's just a really good way to repeatedly commit crimes on every player's turn. Bontu's Monument is going to make all of our creatures cheaper, and it's also going to serve as a finisher by draining our opponents. Crowded Crypt can eventually get a bunch of counters on it, at which point we can sack it at an end step and then swing with a bunch of creatures. Heraldic Banner is great in any monocolored deck by buffing all of our team. Idol of Oblivion should be a good way for us to draw cards in a deck like this since we're making so many tokens. Liquimetal Talk might seem a bit weird since we don't have any ways to deal with artifacts, but it does allow us to repeatedly commit crimes. Relic of Progenitus is yet another card that can repeatedly deal with graveyards and allows us to commit crimes. The same goes for Scrabbling Claws. We really have a lot of graveyard hate in this deck. Unlicensed Hearse is yet another graveyard hate card, which is obviously very good. And Whippoverivos is very powerful in any creature-based deck, and this one certainly is. For enchantments, we have Endless Ranks of the Dead. This is just a great way to make sure that our number of zombies keeps growing and growing. And for Planeswalkers, we have Liliana Dreadhorde General. This is obviously really good because it's going to make zombie tokens, but then also it just draws us so many cards and is a very strong Planeswalker. Finally, for lands, we're running Cabal Coffers and Cabal Stronghold as ways to take advantage of all the swamps we're playing. Crypto Academe is similarly good, except it's going to count black creatures in graveyards instead of swamps. Nykthos Shrine to Nyx is yet another way to make big mana because we should have a pretty high devotion count in this deck. Tectonic Edge is going to allow us to deal with opposing lands whilst also committing a crime. And Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth has some synergy with our Swamp Walk cards, but it's there mostly for the Cabal Coffers combo. So there you have it. That has been my Gisa the Hellraiser deck. What do you think about this one? It looks really powerful to me, and I feel like it's going to be a top tier EDH deck if you optimize it. What do you think? Are there any cards you think I missed? Any cards you think I shouldn't have included? Let me know in the comment section below. I make sure to always read all of your comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.